Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this video, let me welcome you all to our channel Future Endeavors. Okay, so today is 1st January, a very first day of the new year 2022. Let me hope that you are all okay, in good health, in good condition, and I wish that you remain happy and prosperous like this all throughout the year, and let us wish for the well-being of all our friends, families, juniors, seniors, everyone. So with that, I will be continuing my lecture. In the previous class, we have finished the chapter on the current electricity. Okay, today we will be doing some big problems. Okay, now before going into problem, uh, first of all, I will be discussing about the current divider rule. This is quite an theorem which you can apply to solve problems very easily. Okay. So, what is actually current divider rule? Okay. See. So today, first of all, we will be discussing about current divider rule. Okay. Current divider rule. Now, what is current divider rule? Can you guess? See, as in the previous class, we have discussed that resistors can be connected in two ways. Either they can be connected in series or they can be connected in parallel. I think all of you have remembered, and if you have forgotten, please do watch the previous video. I think the concept will be clear to you all. Now, if you remember, in parallel connection, current gets actually divided among the resistors, isn't it? And in series, the voltage gets divided among the resistors. So, when you are considering the parallel connection, say you are considering, let us take two resistance. This is R1 and this is R2. I think you better apply this theorem or this rule when you see there are two resistors in parallel. Okay, so this is R1 and R2, and let's say it is connected to an source which causes the flow of current. It may be a battery, a cell, or any other source. Now, due to the source, the current I starts flowing in this main branch, and when it comes to this point, it actually divides into two parts. Let us consider that the current moving out through this branch 1 or resistor R1 is I1, and through this branch 2 or resistor R2 is I2, and when they come out of this parallel combination, again they combine to form current I. Okay, so this is the flow of current, right? This is the flow of current. Now, what is current divider rule? You can directly apply this rule to find out the current I1 and I2 directly. So, what is the rule? Remember that when you need to calculate the current I1, what you need to do? So, current I1 is given by this formula: I1 equals to main current I multiplied by the resistance in the opposite arm, that is R2, by the combination or the total of the two resistance R1 and R2. So in this way you will get the current I1, and current I2 is given by the formula current I, main current I. The resistance in opposite branch is R1 by R1 plus R2, isn't it? Okay. So this is how actually the current is divided among the two resistors I1 and I2. So you can easily apply this formula and get the value of the currents in the branches or in the resistors R1 and R2. Okay, so this is current divider rule. I think the rule is clear. So you can apply this rule in problems where you get to see two resistors and the current is being divided among the two resistors, and you can find out the currents easily. Okay, so I think the concept is clear to all of you. Okay. Now let us quickly move on. Just having a brief discussion about the voltage dividing. What happens when voltage is divided among the resistors? When the voltage is divided, when their resistors is connected in series, isn't it? Okay. So I will just briefly discuss about the voltage dividing rule also. Okay. So just a brief review of the voltage divider rule. Okay. So this voltage divider rule will be applicable when you see resistors in series connection. Voltage divider rule. Okay. Say let us just consider like that two resistors are in series. This is R1 and this is R2. Okay, and they are connected to a certain source. Okay, they are connected to a source. It may be anything. Okay. So here R2. Okay. Now here we are considering that there is a voltage source which is providing a total voltage of say V, isn't it? Total voltage of V, and we just connect this source to the main circuit. What happens? Current cannot get divided as because current gets only one path to flow, but the voltage actually is being divided in these two resistors. Okay, so here you see that the voltage, particularly the voltage in the within the resistor R1. So you know from Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So if I get the total current I, okay, so how can I get the total current I? So from the calculation, total current I will be equals to V by R1 plus R2, isn't it? So what is the value of V1? So I can easily write that the value of V1 will be equals to I into R1, and this turns out to be main voltage V into the resistance R1 by summation of the resistance R1 plus R2. So this is voltage V1, and likewise the voltage V2 can be obtained as main voltage V into resistance R2 by the summation of two resistance R1 and R2. Okay, so this is the voltage divider rule. I think the concepts are very clear to you now. Okay, so this is the voltage divider rule. Okay, so if you want maximum problems that you will be getting in exams will be consisting of two resistors, so you can easily apply these formulas and make your calculations easier and faster. But it is better not to memorize the formulas directly, but to understand the concept, and then if you can remember the formulas, you should apply. So that is the better method. Okay. So I think from this current divider rule or voltage divider rule, actually you can understand that the current is being divided in the opposite ratio of the resistance, or not opposite ratio, reciprocal of the ratio of the resistance, and voltage is being divided among the resistors in direct ratio of the resistance. What I want to mean is that if I consider a series connection and say this is R1, this is R2, and this is R3. R1, R2, and this is R3, and you get the voltage across R1 as V1, voltage across after V2, and voltage across after V3, with current I flowing through all of these three resistors. They will be same as the resistors are connected in series. Now, here the ratio of the voltages, that is V1 is to V2 is to V3, will be nothing but equal to the ratio of the resistances R1, R2, and R3. Okay? So remember this thing. This will be very helpful. This is a very simple logical concept, but is very helpful when you are solving problem. Whereas on the other hand, you can say that when the resistance are connected in parallel, okay. So consider three resistance, say R1, then R2, and then R3. Okay. So three resistance R1, R2 and R3. So these resistors are connected in parallel. Now you should be able to say one thing. Is it possible that all these three resistors will have the same current through them? No, never. The current here will be divided as because there are three paths. The voltage across all these three resistors will be same, isn't it? The voltage across all these resistors will be same. So current, if I consider the current through resistor I1, this as I2 and this as I3, with the potential across all the resistors as V. Okay. Then the ratio of the current across all these resistors I1 is to I2 is to I3 will be nothing but equals to the reciprocal of the ratio of the resistances, that is 1 by R1 is to 1 by R2 is to 1 by R3. So this is the formula. Okay, not formula, actually it's a concept. You can memorize it by understanding the concept. Then it will be easier for you to remember as well as easier for you to apply in the problem. Okay? Fine? Okay. So these are the few basic concepts. Now let us just do some basic problems. We will be covering some basic problems. Today our lecture will be very brief as it is New Year Day. So we will be not making our lecture too much lengthy. Okay, just a few problems. If you have any doubt, face any doubt, or have any query regarding these concepts, you can obviously mention in our comment box. Please do mention in our comment box. We will be happy to answer your queries. Okay, so let us come to question number 1. Okay, say it has been said that a total of 5 into 10 to the power 10 electrons flow through a wire in say 10 seconds. Calculate the value of current. So can I do the problem? Obviously yes. Please try on your own. Then I am solving the problem. It's very easy problem. There is nothing very easy. So pause the video and try the problem. I think you have solved it by now. Okay. Now let us come to the solution. If you have not been able to solve it, just see. See here when we say the total of 5 into 10 electrons. What is this? This value is actually n, the number of electrons that is flowing, n. Okay, and this 10 second is the time that you are required. Okay, so you know that the formula for current I is equals to Q by T, and this Q can be expressed as n into E by T, where E is the charge on the one electron, n is the number of free electrons that are flowing, and T is the time. So what is the value of n? 5 into 10 to the power 10. What is the value of E? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb by time is 10 seconds. So solving this, what is the answer you are getting? Just let us see. 5, 16, 6 5 is 30, 80. So it's 8. 5 into 1.6 is 8, and here it is 10 to the power 19 minus 19 and 10 to the power 10. So 10 to the power minus 9. In the 10 from this bottom comes out 10 to the power minus 10. So this much ampere current is flowing through the wire when a very weak current, when a total of 5 into 10 to the power 10 electrons is flowing through the wire within a time frame of 10 seconds. Okay, so it's clear? Okay, very good. Now let us do a problem on combination of resistors. I think you have noted down the problem. If not, please pause the video and note down the problem. Okay, I'll be happy if you just understand the concepts first and do the problems. Then please don't memorize the problems and repeatedly telling me again and again that please do understand the concepts to solve the problems. Okay. Now coming to question number 2. Okay. See, let us consider a circuit like this. Okay, so there is a circuit like this. Here see, (12 ohm). Here is 8 ohm. And here is 10 ohm. What you have to do, you have to find the equivalent resistance between these points A and B. Okay, you have to find the, note down the question, find the equivalent resistance between points A and B. Okay, so this is the question. Okay, so please pause the video and do try it once. If you then check the answer. Okay, so please pause the video. I am solving, but you please pause the video and solve the question first. Okay, now see here, when I am solving this circuit, see, if I consider that the current, some current is coming and flowing through the circuit, when it comes at this point, it gets to path to divide. From here, it can either go in this direction or it can go in this direction, isn't it? So these are the two paths that the current can flow through, either in this direction or in this direction. So you can easily understand. See, I have said that when can you consider the resistance to be in series? When the current does not get divided. See, when the current flows through this path, it does not get divided, it flows in one. And again, when the current flows through this path, it does not get divided, it flows in one. So I can easily consider these two resistance in series and these two resistance in series. So just first of all let us just solve that part. So it is here A, I consider like this. So 12 plus 8, how much it comes out to be? 20 ohm. And this 10 plus 10, this one comes out to be 20 ohm. Okay, so this is point A, this is point B. Okay, so here it comes out to be 12 plus 8, 20 ohm. Here also comes out to be 10 plus 10, 20 ohm. Okay, so now see, there are two resistors, equivalent resistors, both 20 ohm, connected in parallel, isn't it? Okay, so considering this, I am just going on to the next step. So these two resistors are parallel. So what will be the equivalent resistance? Now see, we will apply the formula that let us consider the equivalent resistance of the total circuit as RAB. It will be equal to 1 by 20 plus 1 by 20. The LCM comes out to be 20. 1 plus 1 is 2. It's then 2 by 20. So or I can say that RAB is equals to 20 by 2. That means it's 10 ohm. Okay. So this is the equivalent resistance of the circuit, 10 ohm. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So if you could have also solved this. See, when there are two resistors in parallel, you can also directly apply one formula. If there are two resistors in parallel, say here is one resistance R1, here is one resistance R2. These two resistances are in parallel. Say like this circuit is given. Okay, you can also directly write this formula. Consider this as R1 and this is R2. You can directly write the formula as R equivalent is equal to R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. You can apply this formula when you are seeing that two resistors are being connected in parallel. You can reduce the time of your calculations. If the resistance, given value resistance are quite large, then this method is quite helpful. Okay, fine. So I think the question is clear. Okay. If not, if you have not noted down the question or the solution, please stop, pause the video and note it down, as I am rubbing it off and moving on to the next problem. So it's now question number 3. Okay. Let us see. Question number 3. Okay. Question number 3. So what does question number 3 says? Let us see. Question number 3. Okay, so yeah. So a circuit like this is given. Okay. Now here, okay. So say this is a 20-volt cell or battery, as I should say battery, not cell. And here are two resistors, 6 ohm and this is 3 ohm. Fine. And here is a 1 ohm resistance. The question has been said that determine the current in the circuit, total current. Okay, in the circuit, total current. So I can get the total current. Also find the value of current in 6 ohm. Okay, so this is the question. So there are two parts. This is the first part, this is the second part. Okay, so total current. So before coming to solve the total current, what you have to do, first of all you have to find out the equivalent resistance. Okay, equivalent resistance. So how can we get the equivalent resistance? See, these two resistance, first of all, say these two resistance are connected in series or in parallel. I think now by now you have been able to understand that they are connected in parallel. So just you may consider the equivalent resistance here as Rp. So Rp turns out to be 6 into 3 by 6 plus 3, so 18 by 9, it's so 2 ohm. Okay, 2 ohm, isn't it? 6 into 3, 18, 6 plus 3, 9. Okay, just one little bit correction. Take the resistance here as 3 ohm. Okay. Okay. Now then see actually how the circuit is being reduced. The circuit becomes like this. The circuit becomes like this. Here is the 2 ohm resistance, then comes the 3 ohm resistance, and it is connected to the battery of 20 volt. So 20 volt, this is 2 ohm, this is 3 ohm, isn't it? Okay. So then what will be the equivalent resistance of these two? Okay. So this is the total resistance, say Rs. So 2 plus 3, that it turns out to be 5 ohm, isn't it? So then what will be the total current in the circuit? Total current in the circuit, we can solve it by Ohm's law, applying Ohm's law. V equals to IR. So here I can consider that current I, V is equals to IR. This is from Ohm's law. Then the total current I will be equals to V by R. V is 20 volt, R is 5 ohm, and that gives us to be 4 ampere. Okay. So I think this much is clear. So the total current turns out to be 4 ampere. Okay, fine. And now quickly moving on to the next part. What will be the current in the 6 ohm resistor? Okay, so current in the 6 ohm resistor. 6 ohm resistor current. Okay, so this is part 1. Okay, now here comes the part 2. So total current turns out to be 4 ampere. Now I have to find out the current in the 6 ohm resistor. So I am applying current divider rule. See, so the current through 6 ohm. The current through 6 ohm will be equal to the main current. So the current formula is I into 3 ohm by 6 plus 3. Okay, so main current is 4 ampere into 3 by 9. Okay, so this transfer to 12 by 9 ampere. Now you can calculate this and find out the value in decimal. So I think the calculation is clear, the concept is clear. Okay, so this is the current to the 6 ohm resistor. Okay, fine. So we will be ending our video here. Enjoy the new year and wish that the new year turns out to be very good for all, lucky for all. And to enjoy your studies, please stay well and stay safe. Okay, till then, the next video, just bidding you goodbye, tata. Okay, thank you.